Welcome to KTVU Crime Files, not only reporting on Bay Area crime, but also offering advice for solutions.
A surprise at a South Bay Safeway over the weekend. Shoppers caught off guard when a group of bike riders started harassing people right in the parking lot of the store in Willow Glen. New at 10, KTVU South Bay reporter LaMonica Peters live tonight with video of the swarming teenagers here. LaMonica.
Mike, we spoke to a woman who says she saw the teens run into the Safeway and take items out. She says she saw them throw things at people, and she was sitting in this nail salon when it all happened, so she took out her cell phone and shot video of what she could see.
At first, I just thought it was one of the bike parties, but it very quickly, within a matter of minutes, was clear that it was not. They stormed the Safeway store.
Erin Ronan says around 1 o'clock Saturday afternoon, she witnessed a large group of teenagers and some adults in the Safeway parking lot on Bird Avenue with motorized bikes. She says some of the teens ran into the Safeway grocery store to grab items as employees tried to stop them.
They also were jumping on top of cars. I witnessed them throw rocks and food at a woman who was all by herself, and they broke her windshield.
San Jose police say they received reports of a large bike party taunting residents, and several people were hit by rocks and other objects, but none were injured. Ronan says the group also used smoke bombs in the parking lot. The woman Ronan saw being attacked did not want to be identified, but she sent these photos of her bruised arm and car damages she says were caused by the group.
I couldn't leave. I felt helpless because I wanted to go help the woman that was all by herself in the car, but clearly I could not have done anything with that large of a crowd. I felt terrible for the Safeway employees, that many of them were young.
Police say some of the juveniles were still at the scene when they arrived, but no arrests were made, and they canvassed the area in search of others who may have been involved. Bebo's Pizza is also in the shopping plaza, and the owner says he and his staff were inside working when it all happened, but he heard the commotion.
So I'd like to think there was probably some bad apples in that group. I don't know if they're part of the group or tagged along or what, but that isn't the norm when they visit. And they've been about a half dozen times that I can recall. So I was very surprised to see that and extremely disappointed to see that.
We have seen police patrolling this parking lot today, and I spoke with the manager of Safeway who declined to comment about the incident. Police are still investigating, but the people I spoke to say they've heard a lot of chatter about the police response, and they say they're very satisfied with the way they came, how they showed up, when they showed up, and they did get people to safety as soon as they could. Mike?
All right, LaMonica Peters live tonight in the South Bay. LaMonica, thank you for that.
An East Bay mother whose teenage son was killed by a suspected drunk driver is fighting for justice. She wants the man who struck and killed her son to be kept behind bars. KTVU's Amber Lee joins us live in studio after meeting with her this evening as she took action. Amber?
Greg, mom set up a memorial at the crash scene along with tables to gather signatures for a petition. There is a bail hearing scheduled for next month. She wants the judge to know she has the community's support. She tells me in just 90 minutes this evening, she gathered 85 signatures.
Gracias por venir.
In Spanish, Martha Barajas thanked people who came to support her in Richmond Friday. Her 16-year-old son, Ricky Funes Barajas, was killed here along busy Ohio Avenue by a suspected drunk driver 2 months ago.
It's definitely ups and downs. Ups and downs. Not a day that goes by that I don't drop a tear for my son. We miss him so much.
On July 30th, shortly after midnight, Barajas says a 30-year-old suspected drunk driver was speeding in his blue car when he crashed into her son's black Mustang. He was pulling out of a parking space in front of a relative's home. The teen died at the scene. The suspect faces multiple charges, including murder, and is being held at the Martinez detention facility. Now, mom has started a petition to gather signatures to ask the judge not to lower the suspect's $1.1 million bail at a hearing scheduled for October 15th.
Why does this drunk driver get a chance to go home with the bail reduction? It's like, where's the justice there? Like, my son didn't get a chance, he shouldn't get a chance to go home either.
We reached out to the suspect's defense attorney, but he did not respond. Ricky is seen here in bright pink sneakers playing junior varsity basketball for Leadership High School, where he would have been in the 11th grade. Mom says he had been excited about making it on the varsity team this year.
No!
His cousin tells me she took this video of Ricky about a half hour before he was killed.
I remember I used to not be able to look at his face in pictures because it made my heart hurt. I think about my cousin every day, and there's not a day that goes by that I don't think about him.
Mom says she's grateful for the support she's received from the community.
On behalf of my son and my family, for those that are continuing to support us, thank you, and we hope we gather a lot of signatures and that will make a difference.
On Sunday from 6 to 7:30 p.m., the family plans to be at the crash site again to gather more signatures for their petition. It's located on Ohio Avenue at South 20th Street in Richmond. Greg?
Yeah, Mom turning her grief into action. Amber Lee live in studio tonight. Amber, thank you.
A new report is out on the number of so-called ghost guns being used in crimes and seized by law enforcement up and down California. The Department of Justice report released today in San Francisco by State Attorney General Rob Bonta. Now, according to the report, the number of ghost guns recovered from crime scenes was down 23% last year compared to the year before. Attorney General Bonta says despite the decrease, the report, quote, documents just how dangerous the ghost gun industry is.
Are actually even scarier than they sound. Ghost guns are unserialized, untraceable firearms assembled by individuals who are not licensed to manufacture firearms. This is a skip the background check industry.
The report also outlines how California has taken action to address the ghost gun crisis through law enforcement actions and litigation against ghost gun companies. Oakland Mayor Sheng Tao says the city's ceasefire program is helping to reduce crime in the city. This all comes as Oakland police search for the person who shot and killed a man this past weekend during a McClymonds High School reunion. It was the 70th homicide of the year for Oakland. At this time last year, there were 97 homicides. That's a 27% drop. In the last hour on the 4, the mayor said that property crimes are also going down despite federal data showing the city has a zero clearance rate for those crimes.
Gangs and groups are actually going after electronics and then dumping them at a fencing ring where then they are transported to different countries. And so not getting to go and gather that property back, that actually gets us to that low number.
Also today on the 4, the mayor would not outright endorse the statewide ballot measure Proposition 36, which would strengthen penalties for certain theft and drug crimes. But she did say she supports its goals when combined with other crime prevention strategies.
Oakland police say violent crime is down in the city compared to this time last year. A shooting yesterday evening on Wilson Avenue is the 69th homicide of the year. Police say although every death is tragic, homicides are down about 30%. At this time in 2023, police were investigating their 96th homicide.
This is a reduction, but again, there's been 69 too many this year.
The hard work that are being done by not only our ceasefire detectives and officers out there, but our patrol officers, but it's also our community working with us to identify individuals that are involved in crime and that would commit crime.
Police Chief Floyd Mitchell added that the number of aggravated assaults is down 14%, as are rapes and sexual assaults. Robberies are down 24%.
New at 10, the San Mateo County Sheriff's Department says several forms of crime are down in the county.
That's right. The office did release its year-to-date crime statistics. Rape offenses are down 26%. Aggravated assaults have decreased by more than 40%. Residential and commercial burglary incidents down 23%, and the sheriff's office says it has not investigated a homicide this year. The sheriff's office also says 2 areas that need improvement: stolen vehicles and robberies, both of which are up from the same time last year.
A 60-year-old man who worked at a gym was shot and killed in Daly City in what authorities say began as an argument with a gym member. Our crime reporter Henry Lee reports the suspect and his mother are now in jail tonight.
The confrontation here was over cleanliness in the gym.
Authorities say a deadly shooting in Daly City was the result of an argument over the suspect's ongoing behavior issues at the Fitness 19 gym at Westlake Shopping Center. The victim was 60-year-old Rolanda Yenga, a grandfather and father of 4. His wife of 24 years tells me he was a loving husband and hard worker who was always giving of himself. San Mateo County DA Steve Wagstaff says the victim was a custodian at the gym who told the suspect, 21-year-old Marij Afridi, he wasn't following the rules.
Walking around barefoot, not taking care of cleaning things, putting things in the toilet didn't belong there, and the victim called him out on it.
At about 7 Sunday night, Yanga left the gym in his Nissan Frontier and drove to South Mayfair Avenue where he lives. Authorities say he was followed by the suspect, who was being driven by his mother. Surveillance video shows the victim driving past, followed closely by a second car. A few moments later, gunfire.
It's an execution murder.
The DA says the suspect fired about 8 shots from a 10mm handgun.
Gets within 15 feet of him and opens fire on him, hitting the victim. The victim went down, and the suspect then walked up to him and pumped some additional rounds into him at point-blank range.
The shooting suspect's been charged with murder and the special circumstance of lying in wait. His mother, 50-year-old Zaib Unisa Afridi, has been charged as an accessory. Neighbors are shocked by the violence.
This is crazy. You cannot take a people's life. He has a very good life.
For this to happen is just senseless, and it's just a terrible crime that someone can just kill someone over a dispute at the gym.
Daly City Mayor Jocelyn Manalo knows the victim's wife.
This is a rare occurrence here in the city of Daly City, and this tragedy just, we're deeply saddened by this because this doesn't happen in our community.
If convicted, the alleged gunman could face life in prison without parole. Both he and his mother are being held without bail. In Daly City, Henry Lee, KTVU, Fox 2 News.
New information tonight about a deadly shooting at a crowded high school reunion in the city of Oakland. Police say one man was killed and multiple shooters could be responsible. KTVU's Joey Horta live tonight in the newsroom with the latest on the investigation. Joey?
Well, Mike, right now, Oakland police are still trying to identify these shooters. Police say that several shots were fired during the annual McClymonds High School alumni picnic, rattling this tight-knit West Oakland community. Tonight, we've learned the identity of the victim.
We would like to extend our condolences to our fallen alumni.
The McClymonds High School community is in mourning. Oakland police say shots rang out during the annual alumni picnic at DeFremery Park in West Oakland just after 7:30 Saturday night. Sam McNeil says his good friend, 38-year-old Tony Miller, seen here playing at Topgolf recently, was killed in the shooting.
It's really heartbreaking to lose a member of your community who is beloved, especially in front of the entire community.
The shooters opened fire, sending people running for their lives at a time when police say the park was full of hundreds of families of alumni, including young children.
This was a family-friendly event where a number of individuals from our community were coming together and fellowshipping with one another. West Oakland and McClymonds High School in particular is a very tight-knit community.
City leaders are condemning the violence and calling for the community to band together.
There is no place for violence here in the city of Oakland.
Mike Hutchinson, Oakland School Board District 4 Director, writing, the annual alumni picnic should be a safe space. We have to find a way to do better.
I just wanted to send love to everybody in the community because that's what we need more of right now.
The principal of McClymonds High School says additional staff will be on hand Monday to support both the mental health of students and campus security.
We are working really hard as a district to rally around McClymonds to make sure that anyone who was impacted by last night's incidents have the supports that they need to come to school.
While police say no one else was hurt, Tony Miller would have celebrated his 39th birthday on Monday. He leaves behind 4 kids and had a passion for helping the less fortunate. This is the 70th homicide in Oakland this year, and police are asking anyone with information on the suspects to give them a call. Mike?
A young father gone too early. Hopefully those tips will come in. Joey Horta live tonight in the newsroom.
A new analysis of police data shows a sharp decrease in the number of auto break-ins in San Francisco. The San Francisco Chronicle compared the number of break-ins in each neighborhood. From January to August of last year, there were 1,530 reported break-ins in North Beach, and that is the neighborhood that saw the most break-ins. Jump to this year, there were 481 over the same period. That's a decrease of 69%. A spokesperson for the police department believes the implementation of several strategies are helping. They include using an overtime unit to work in smash and grab hotspots, using bait cars, and carrying out targeted stings. Mayor Lyndon Breed reacted to the data analysis with a post to X. Her caption reads in part, "We will continue the work so people see and feel a difference by using the San Francisco Police Department's new tools like drones and license plate readers and partnering with the DA's office to enforce our laws, hold people accountable, and create a safer city for all."
New at 10, a man is under arrest accused of running over and killing another man at Berkeley's aquatic park early this morning. 40-year-old Miguel de Villa Huzar is being held on a $140,000 bail on vehicular manslaughter and DUI charges. Berkeley police say they responded just after 4:30 to a report of a person pinned under a vehicle. They found a 69-year-old man under that car right near the parking roundabout at South Aquatic Park. A witness telling us the victim was in a sleeping bag when he was struck by the vehicle. He was pronounced dead at the scene.
The husband of a Hayward woman found dead in her home has been arrested on suspicion of murder. Police responded to the report of a disturbance last Monday on Eucalyptus Court near La Vista Intermediate School. They say they found Tanya Alfandor unresponsive, and she died at the scene. Her husband, Alvaro Sierra, was also in the home and had self-inflicted cuts. He was taken to the hospital and discharged on Saturday, and that's when officers arrested him. And a reminder to you that if you or someone you know needs help, call the National Domestic Violence Hotline right there on your screen, 1-800-799-7233. You can also text START to 88788. In Vallejo, residents say they're growing tired of disruptive and dangerous sideshows.
Police say they are investigating at least 3 sideshows from over the weekend where they believe multiple people were actually injured. KTVU's Crystal Bailey reports.
It's out of control.
People who live in Vallejo are tired of it.
Because when you hear gunshots, I automatically drop to the floor. So you duck, turn the lights out and look through the blinds or drapes.
This was an especially hot weekend. Police say about 400 people were involved in moving sideshows, taking over intersections all over town Friday, Saturday, and Sunday night.
Scared to open your door, scared to come outside.
Video shows a yellow Mustang driving in circles before crashing into a group of people at Sonoma Boulevard and Lemon Street. Police say one female was reported injured, but by the time they broke up the sideshow, she was nowhere to be found.
And I guess the police were called, so they were scrambling, going this way, that way.
I'm afraid for the kids because they're hanging outside the windows, they're doing the videos.
At another sideshow at B.W. Williams and Lewis Brown Drives, a young man is seen being hit by a car and then dragged away with his clothing on fire, screaming in pain. Police reported a young man went to the hospital, but he was uncooperative with officers, so they can't confirm whether it was the same person.
It can be as much as 200 kids just lined up the streets.
Neighbors say Columbus Parkway and Springs Road was also a hot spot this weekend, where loud bangs and screeching tires kept people up all night.
It's all hours of the night. It could be midnight, it could be 1 o'clock in the morning, it could be 2 o'clock in the morning.
Vallejo police say they're understaffed.
I have called them, but I don't get no response from them, so I stopped.
But they had support over the weekend from officers with Solano County, Napa County, American Canyon, and the CHP. At this time, there have been no arrests, but Vallejo police suspect this could be part of a widespread organized event. They say they plan on implementing Governor Newsom's new bill cracking down on sideshows. In Vallejo, Crystal Bailey, KTVU, Fox 2 News.
The Berkeley Unified School Board has approved a $13.5 million settlement with 9 Berkeley High School graduates who said they were sexually harassed by a chemistry teacher and coach. KTVU's Janet Katsuyama spoke with some of the former students and has this report.
After more than 3 years of legal battles, the Berkeley Unified School District and 9 Berkeley High School graduates finalized a $13.5 million settlement on Wednesday.
I feel like I've been dragged through the mud with 8 other women for 5 years.
Rachel Phillips is one of the former Berkeley High School students who sued the district, saying Matthew Bissell, a chemistry teacher and coach, had sexually harassed and assaulted them at school.
What started out as a "you smell good" or You look beautiful when you run.
Phillips' attorney shared this photo that was posted in the high school yearbook showing Bissell licking her ear. And she says she never had a relationship or consented to his advances.
He grabbed me and pulled me into dark corners and would touch me and try to grab my private parts and get very close. He licked my ear. He picked me up. I mean, this was multiple occasions.
The youngest plaintiff, listed by initials as Jane S.F. Doe, says she is still dealing with emotional trauma. She says she was 15 years old and Bissell was her chemistry teacher.
I was too young to know how to protect myself. It really affected my confidence as a young person, my trust in men. I did really badly in chemistry classes early on in college.
The plaintiffs say their main goal was to help protect current students, and their attorney says they've submitted requests asking the Unified School District to buy software to track complaints, have more student education on harassment and reporting, create a reporting hotline, and use $1.5 million from insurance for child abuse protections.
They've persevered and spoken out, and that the community see what was allowed to happen for decades at Berkeley High, and that they start taking real action in the future to prevent it from happening again.
We put in phone calls and sent emails to Matthew Bissell's attorney, as well as the Berkeley Unified School District superintendent and the board, but so far we have not received any statements. Reporting from Berkeley, Jana Katsuyama, KTVU, Fox 2 News.
A man was shot multiple times in San Francisco has been rushed to the hospital for treatment. Police officers found a man a little after 2 this afternoon near the intersection of Mission Street and Foote Avenue. Video posted to Citizen app shows traffic back up in the area as emergency crews responded. Police officers say witnesses have informed them a vehicle took off from the scene immediately after the shooting. They did not release any details about that vehicle. While the victim is expected to survive, we don't have details of his condition tonight. Investigators' search for the shooter is ongoing. Law enforcement in the North Bay is looking for a group of suspects following an overnight burglary. Police in Novato were called to a burglary in process at a store on Diablo Road around 3 this morning. As officers arrived, they learned a car had smashed into the store before a group of thieves went inside and took merchandise. Detectives say they saw 2 vehicles connected to the theft driving from the scene. The CHP helped police catch and arrest one of those suspects. 4 people are believed to be outstanding from this burglary.
A 14-year-old has been arrested for stabbing a 16-year-old at South San Francisco High School. Police say they got the call around noon today. An investigation found the student victim was stabbed during a fight. They were taken to a local trauma center with non-life-threatening injuries. Police say this was an isolated incident, although they are still investigating.
One person is under arrest after authorities in San Francisco say he broke into an ambulance last night and injured a paramedic. The San Francisco Fire Department shared this photo showing the ambulance with a broken driver's side window. They say the suspect stole equipment from inside that ambulance. The vehicle was one of 7 ambulances parked outside Zuckerberg General Hospital last night. Sheriff's deputies say they were able to detain the suspect quickly. The paramedic was treated for minor injuries.
The Concord Police Department arrested a man who's accused of several sex crimes against minors. The Contra Costa County District Attorney has filed charges against 47-year-old Emilio Martinez Alarcon. He was arrested on September 25th, accused of molesting multiple children under the age of 14. Martinez Alarcon remains in custody on $11 million bail. Police say they believe there could be more victims.
An update on a shooting in Napa that left 2 people dead. Police say that they arrested the suspect after an hours-long standoff. Our crime reporter Henry Lee is live in Napa tonight with the latest in this case. And Henry, you do also have some new details on the victims.
Yeah, I've learned the victims were a mother of 3 and her attorney, and that the suspect is her new boyfriend, who's now at the hospital after he shot himself during a standoff.
What are you doing?
A dramatic ending to a deadly double shooting in Napa that took the lives of a mother of 3 and her attorney. I've learned from a neighbor the suspect is the woman's new boyfriend. Napa police chased the suspect into Kennedy Park, ramming his Chrysler 300. The suspect, 28-year-old Baltazar Rangel Juarez, later shot himself during a standoff. After his car became disabled, he's being treated at a hospital. The incident began at about 9:45 Thursday morning when police say the suspect showed up at his girlfriend's apartment at the Napa Park Homes complex on Lincoln near Soskell. This woman lives nearby and did not want her face shown. She told me she heard people fighting and the woman referring to the suspect by name. She says she then heard 4 loud sounds, took cover, and called police. She said the woman was a mother of 3 young girls. On Friday, Napa police identified the victims as 38-year-old Georgina Padilla and Ralph Andino III, 54 years old. Andino works as an attorney. This is now the second double homicide in Napa this year. In April, 2 young women were shot and killed near the Napa River shoreline. A man and a woman have been charged with special circumstance murder. In a statement to KTVU, Napa Mayor Scott Sedgley said of the latest tragedy, "Our thoughts and prayers go out to innocent family members impacted and the well-being of our police officers." Now, the Napa County DA's office will decide next week what charges this suspect could face. Now, if they do lodge the special circumstance charge of multiple murder like they did in the last double homicide, this suspect could potentially face life in prison without parole if he's convicted. Live in Napa, Henry Lee, KTVU, Fox 2 News.
Henry, thank you.